What's up, everybody? I am Fineaswine. This
Good
is the
morning. Good
Tricia and
morning.
Meechie show. We are here to talk about this piece of shit named Derek Chauvin, the police that killed George Floyd. This police killed this man, murdered this man for everybody to see, for the whole world to see. And they're trying to give him a slap on the wrist. Tricia, what you think?
Well, right now, they're doing the trial. It's live right now. Right now, it's very sad. It's sad.
So we
Me
wanted to
too.
get on. We're gonna share the video. We're just gonna talk about the trial as it's happening and our thoughts on the whole situation. This man has caused a whole nation to go at war based upon his stupid ass actions to want to be the aggressor and have control to where he just put his knee on this man's neck.
And back.
Yeah, right. And didn't care about him breathing or none of that shit. It was all about authority at that moment, which is a selfish ass act because you didn't care about this man's life. He told you he couldn't breathe, you piece of shit. So I have no remorse for what's coming to him. What about you, Trish?
Again, I'm going to remain silent once this is all over with. But as of right now, I'm highly upset. I'm really infuriated because this former Minneapolis police officer charged with the killing of George Floyd in May of last year, and today is the day one of this trial begins with an opening statement. So there are many of us that's going to sit back and we're going to have to carefully follow and listen to every evidence because right now they're saying they're not looking at it as a race. So we have to keep race out of it. But of course, we all have our own opinions, but we have to keep race out of this. But we first have to go, how did it initially started? How did this all initially started? You see, that's where people is failing to realize. This George Floyd, brother George Floyd, 46-year-old, father, brother, cousin, a friend to many. He's originally from Houston, Texas.
Oh wow.
Okay, he lost his job when the COVID pandemic hit. He worked as a security guard.
He didn't bother nobody.
He worked as a security guard, including at the Salvation Army.
George Floyd did.
Yes.
Oh wow. And he didn't bother a soul. He got a brother out there. His brother, I believe, is like a basketball player or something.
Yes. They know like is. Everything still is. We're gonna keep it present because right now it is what it is. But we have to also I don't want to speak on too much on the case because it's live. It's just best if we keep following it, because we're not here to judge, but we have a right to speak how we feel. But at the end of the day, how did this all initiate? How did it all started? Over a fake $20 bill?
Right. A false accusation. A very false
No,
accusation.
it was a fake. No, it was a fake $20 bill.
If it was, at this point, I have my opinions, and I'm not happy. And he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit.
That's how you feel. That's right. Because me and you gonna debate back and forth anyway. We're gonna go back. This is why, because I love you dearly, but we may have our little spats and arguments. But you're right. That's how you feel right now. You have a right to feel that way.
Derek Chauvin can eat a hard one. He can really like.
Oh
I'm so over him. Like, So what we're gonna do right now is share the live trial with you guys so you guys can see what we're talking about. Just an open dialogue. You guys give your thoughts and opinions on this bullshit. I'm mad and I'm
you
ready.
are mad and I'm crying while you mad. So yeah, there's gonna be a whole lot of people upset right now because you're sparking up a bunch of BS now. We kicking it back off again.
This piece of shit. Can't believe he did that. Let me go ahead and share screen with you guys. Just give us one moment while we get this together.
And while he's getting that together, I just want to thank everyone for coming on. We're very grateful and we appreciate you. Just bear with us. We're getting it together. And I love you. Meechie and I love you dearly. Keep following
Absolutely.
us.
Absolutely. Now let me know if you see this, Tricia. I want to make sure that everybody can see.
Yes, I see it's up. It's just not it's up. And we're talking through. So
This piece of shit. Derek. Let's do George Floyd.
well, the Chavez trial begins with opening statement. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is
Conversion
this is live, guys.
Caused by competitors.
You let me know. Can you see that?
Yes.
Do you see the trial?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We all see the trial.
Reasonable person do in his or her most important affairs? What is a reasonable doubt? As such, reason dictates and necessitates how the evidence must be looked at and analyzed in every single case. And common sense is exactly that. It's common sense. Common sense tells you that there are always two sides to a story. Common sense tells us that we need to examine the totality of the circumstances to determine the meaning of evidence and how it can be applied to the questions of reasonableness of actions and reactions. In other words, common sense is the
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Because what they're trying to do is give him a slap on the wrist. That's not about to happen. You need to go under the jail. Now, I don't wish death on nobody, but that piece of shit, no, this is not gonna work. So it's being said that they said that George Floyd had some drugs in his system, right?
Yes, he did. That was at the beginning before I reached out to you. He did have drugs in the system. He had amphetamine in the system. Yes, he did. And that does cause a reaction to your body. If you got somebody's neck is on your back and then come on, somebody got their knee on your back and on your neck.
Right.
So that was the opening statement. That's why it was so imperative that people really need to be in tune, sit still, and listen to the opening statement at the beginning. But yes, he did have drugs in his system. But that doesn't give you the reason. They don't give a person a reason to do what has been taken place. They don't still give you that reason.
Exactly. And it's just my opinion, right? I think that what the cop did to him caused his death, period. He murdered him because I think George Floyd would have been okay, even if he did have drugs in his system, to just go about his day and be okay. When he added the pressure to this man's neck, he told you he couldn't breathe. He felt like something was going to happen. He was screaming out loud that he couldn't breathe for his life. You know, he said, please, just, and then he died.
All right, let's listen back on to this opening statement.
That sick piece of shit. I'm just pissed.
Okay. I know you are. I know you are, brother. I know you are.
Judgment based upon a reasoned analysis. And that's what this case is ultimately about. It's about the evidence in this case. The evidence that you will see in this case during this trial. It is, I agree with counsel for the state, it is nothing more than that. There is no political or social cause in this courtroom. But the evidence is far greater than 9 minutes and 29 seconds. In this case, you will learn that the evidence has been collected broadly and expansively. Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension employed nearly 50 case agents, analysts, and technicians to investigate this case. The Federal Bureau of Investigation included at least 28 additional agents in their investigation. These agents combined have engaged in an extensive and far-reaching investigation. They have interviewed over 50 members of the Minneapolis Police Department, including the officers who responded to the scene after Mr. Floyd was brought to the hospital. They interviewed members of the Minneapolis Police Department command staff. They interviewed officers who oversee training and policy-making decisions within the Minneapolis Police Department. They have interviewed nearly 200 civilian witnesses in this case. Some of these witnesses saw the entire incident, some who saw a portion of the incident, many who saw nothing, and some who had some piece of information to give to the officers, and others who had nothing. These agents interviewed the numerous medical personnel who attended to Mr. Floyd, and they interviewed the numerous firefighters and paramedics who responded. Agents executed approximately a dozen search warrants in this case to gather information. And in the end, you will hear a term throughout, I believe, this case called the bait stamp number. The bait stamp system is a way for lawyers to keep track of the case, to make sure that we are working from the same set of documents, the same set of evidence.
Okay, pause, Meechie.
Okay.
Audience, listen to what he just said about the law. Well, lawyers have to keep track of things. Listen. Come on, people, listen. Just sit back and listen. All right, go ahead. Hit it back again.
Okay. And it's important. We're going to show what actually kicked everything off. And we're going to play this for a little bit, and then we're going to show. Then we're going to come back to this. Is that cool with you, Trish?
That's cool with me. Come on, my brother. Yes.
All right.
Preserve the integrity of the investigation. You will learn that we are approaching 50,000 bait stamped items. So this case is clearly more than about 9 minutes and 29 seconds. As you all saw during jury selection, the witness list in this case neared 400 people. So how do we begin to analyze and organize this evidence? I suggest that you let common sense and reason guide you. I propose that every witness you will hear from and every piece of evidence that you will see or hear during this trial can be assigned to one of 4 basic locations: Cup Foods, Mercedes-Benz, Squad 320, and Hennepin County Medical Center. So let's start at the first, Cup Foods. You will learn that on May 25th, 2020, shortly after 7:00 p.m., Mr. Floyd and his friend Maurice Hall entered the Cup Foods located at 38th in Chicago. While they were there, they ran into their other friend, or Mr. Floyd's ex-girlfriend, Shawanda Hill, and he offered her a ride. You will hear from Chris Martin, who is the store clerk at Cup Foods. Mr. Martin observed Mr. Floyd. He watched his body language. He interacted with Mr. Floyd in this moment. And Mr. Martin formed the opinion that Mr. Floyd was under the influence of something. You will see the actual video from inside Cup Foods.
Let us show you guys the video right now, because, you know, I'm getting heated simply because of the guy assuming that he was using a fake $20 bill. That's the situation, right?
Well, it wasn't actually, Meechie, it was not a guy. It was a woman.
It was a
The
woman?
clerk. Yes, it was. It was a clerk.
Where, let me...
While Meechie is looking for the video, many of us is already aware of how all this really initiated. And we get it. But this is just my opinion. And I really don't care if nobody don't like what I'm about to say. But you have to be taught. You have to be taught to assume or have whatever you think of being on any type of drugs or being racist or being being a thief or this fake $20 bill. So you have to be taught that. So a customer comes in the store, you automatically assume, oh, okay. So you have to been taught that way before the initiative, before the law even got involved. That's why I stress that so hard. How did all this initiated? How did all of this kick off? Come on, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know we're both frustrated. So we're gonna play the entire body cam video of the George Floyd. Here we go. We're gonna press play, guys. We love you guys, and again, this is all allegedly, and my opinion is I hope that the judge rules in the favor of George Floyd.
And let me echo. Everything happens for a reason. And that's how I have to view it right now. Everything happens for a reason. It's a time for a season for everything. So it was a reason for. Yeah, go ahead, Meechie.
This show is based upon opinions and views and your thoughts, your questions. Okay, guys, we are back. We want to show you again the video that's kicked everything off. You guys give us a minute. We're going to pull that right on up for you guys. Thank you so much. And again, look, I don't do a lot of cursing, okay? But this is going to bring a lot of emotions, which it already has. And I'm a black man. So if I curse, if I say something that you may feel is out of place, look, it's just my emotions and feelings. I'm a black man, and look, I wouldn't want this on nobody, okay? Black, blue, white, it doesn't matter, It's just a human being. This happened to a human being, and that's what my regards go to. Something that God created. It's not your job to take nobody's life, He was not a threat. George Floyd was not a threat at all. So let me share the screen with you guys. I don't think it has sound. I think this is them in the car on the way, but it's gonna eventually have sound, I believe. So Tricia, if you got anything you want to say, you just say it. It doesn't matter.
Not at this moment. I'm just watching officer footage as they enter into Cub.
Okay, now we have sound. So
Gentlemen, I hope the driver in there? That blue one over there. Which one? Yep, that one. Okay. Something like that. All right.
you heard that Tricia say, fake $20 bill. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
BRJ, Dwight Robert John 026 at 38th Street.
I'm right here, bro.
All right, I appreciate that, man.
I'm a cool, bro. That's your.
Put your hand up!
Let me get over here, sir.
No, you're gonna stay right there for me.
Just us, man. Me and you.
Now you got one more back here.
It's a lady.
It's a lady?
Yes, sir. Giving us a ride.
It's her car?
No, it's his other friend, of course, sir. She giving her and I a ride.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's whose car? Your friend's car, you said?
It's his friend's car. Her name, I forget. Her name is I forgot it. I forgot her name, but I know his co-worker, and he was giving her and I a ride. This young lady right here.
Yeah.
And I a ride.
Okay.
We were just waiting on her.
All right. You step here? Or what stopped you here at Coco?
I've been busy with Adam. I was trying to buy me a laptop.
All right.
And I did buy one, but it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So he gave me my access.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
I'm just Meechie.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Well, why you gotta touch him? He ain't did nothing.
I didn't know, man. Adam knows.
The fuck?
Stay here. You take a seat in that car. Stay in the car.
Yes, sir.
Not moving. Put your hands behind your back then. Do nothing. Face to the floor.
Man, this is pissing me off.
Hey, you come back. Stay in the car. Stop resisting that. Yes, you are. Stand up.
Please, man.
Stand up for me. Stand up. Come on, walk with me. Walk with me. Walk with me. Stand up.
Why you doing me like this?
Stand up. Come on. We're trying to get out of the street here so you don't get hit by a car. Take a seat. Sit down for me.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Mr.
Sit down.
Thank you, man. God.
Sit all the way down.
Yes,
Flatten
sir.
your feet out.
Yes, sir. I will. Please, man. Please, man.
You got an ID on you?
I got one at home.
All right, what's your name?
George.
George?
George Floyd. I don't know what's going on. Man, that's it.
Spell it for me.
G-E-O.
Yep.
R-G-E.
Last name?
Floyd. Yes, man. F-L-O-I-D.
F-L-O-Y-D?
Yes.
Date of birth?
And that's what I got Tim. October 14th.
October 14th?
73. Man, I got shot last night. Same late, man.
You mind do me a favor? Just run.
Nah, man. That was the
George Floyd. Thank you.
he was looking south. I don't want no problem. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Man, you know why we're here?
Why?
We're here because it sounds like you gave a fake bill to the individuals in there.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yes.
And you know why we pulled you out of the car? Because you was not listening to anything we told you.
I didn't know what was going on.
You listen to us and we will tell you what's going on, all right? When you're moving around like that, that makes us think way more is going on than we need to know.
Hey. And that's all I have is officers.
Gotcha, all right. I'm gonna put you in the back of the squad, all right? Yeah, we're gonna sort all this out, all right?
Man.
Is that your car key?
It's my sister.
Key fob right there?
Yes, sir. I got one problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that for you, all right? Stand up.
Please, man. All right. I was so messed with you. I was like, right now, I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, and look at you still able to reach your side. You're making me nervous.
It's my wrist. Okay.
Yeah, I got you. We'll fix all that. We'll fix all that, but you gotta walk with me.
Ouch.
Are you on something right now?
No, nothing.
Because you acting real erratic.
Man, I'm scared, man.
You got foam around your mouth too?
Yes. Yes, I was just moving earlier. Okay. Yeah, better. All right, let me calm down now. This will look better now. All right, okay. Come, give me one favor, man.
And we're gonna talk about that once we get to the car. Stop moving around.
Oh, man. God, don't leave me, man. Please, man, don't leave me, man. Please don't leave me, man.
That just unlocked the door for me.
I'll beat it back.
Stand up, stop falling down.
I'm claustrophobic, man.
Stand up.
I'm claustrophobic.
Stay on your feet and face the car door.
Please, man. Please.
No.
Please.
Keep the door open. Keep the door open.
Please, let me talk to you.
Man, you ain't listening to nothing we're saying, so we're not going to listen to nothing you're saying.
I'm claustrophobic.
Face the door.
Man.
I hear you, but you are going to face this door right now. Listen up. Stop.
I'm really not anything, man. I'm not resisting, man. I'm not. You can ask me. I'm knowing you. God, man, I'm going to do anything against y'all. God, it's going on like this. Look at my wrist, Mendoza. I'm not that kind of guy.
Sit still.
I'm not that kind of guy. Please. I'm not that kind of guy, Mendoza. Please. God. Please, man. Don't leave me by myself, man. Please. I'm just claustrophobic. That's it.
Got anything sharp on you?
I won't do nothing worse.
Do you have anything sharp on you?
Sir.
Not even like a comb or nothing?
Why y'all doing me like this? Please, back in the window for me and stuff, man.
Stand up straight.
I'm claustrophobic for real, fellas.
You got him?
You please back it for me, please.
Yes,
Stay
I'm
with me, man.
practice.
Stay
I
with me,
will.
man.
I will.
Please stay with me, man. Thank you. God, man. I didn't know this was gonna happen, man. Please, man. I just want my hands free. I don't do nothing of y'all, man. Nothing.
You got that inside
And I understand.
real quick on your side?
Hey, I'm listening. And I understand that people do stuff and y'all don't know me.
Take a seat.
Okay.
Why are you having trouble walking?
Because my hands are hurt. Please, man. Please don't do that.
Take a seat.
I'm going in.
No, you're not.
I gotta go in.
Take a seat.
Why y'all don't believe me?
Take a seat.
I'm not that kind of guy. Man.
Take a seat.
No, I'm a tired.
Take a
I'm
seat.
tired, man.
You need to take a seat right now.
And I just had COVID, man. I don't want to go into that.
Take a seat.
Roll the windows
No.
down. Hey, listen.
Dang, man.
Listen.
I'm not that kind of guy.
I'll roll the windows down and
Please,
put the
man.
legs in, all right?
Y'all
Hold the air on.
God, look at that.
Look, you're not even listening.
Look at it.
We can fix this right now while you're standing out here.
Hey, man. God, y'all do me bad, man. Man, I don't want to try to win. I don't want to win. I'm claustrophobic. I'm claustrophobic. I got anxiety. I don't want to do nothing there. Man, I'm scared as fuck, man. Unless I'm breathing, it's going to go off on me, man. Okay. We got a three. I'm going in. Please. Please, I'm not trying to win. I'll get on the ground, anything. I can't
Get in the car.
He know it. To Mr. Officer. Y'all hear me? Don't do me like that, man.
In the car.
Okay, I told you, please.
Yes, you get in this car. We can talk.
I am claustrophobic.
I'm hearing you, but you're not working with me.
God, I'm claustrophobic, man.
Get in the car.
man.
Get in the car.
Please, in the front. Please.
No, you're not getting in the
I'm
front.
claustrophobic. So
Get in the car.
Okay, man. Okay. I'm not a bad guy, man.
Get in the car.
I'm not a bad guy. Man. Please. Please.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please.
Take a seat.
I can't choke.
Okay, this is getting a little too heavy for me.
Yes, this is getting too. Yes, I'm.
What are you thinking?
I don't even recall hearing his
I'm not
Miranda
gonna be able
rights.
to watch. I'm not gonna be able to watch the rest.
Yes, I don't even recall hearing his Miranda rights even being spoken before the handcuffs. Jesus.
Yeah, if you any human, any like sane human being with with a good heart is not gonna want to watch this all the way through. I just can't. But let's finish watching the trial, some of the trial, and then we're going to just go ahead and end it because I'm getting emotional.
I am too. This is.
Thank you guys for being here with us. It's just really sad. Again, it doesn't matter about the color, black, white, blue, red, or whatever. It's just being a human being, and that how they treated this man. He wasn't aggressive. There was no threat. He just said he was claustrophobic. This police just had to, all of these police just have to have that authoritative feel like because they got the authority, they could just be aggressive with you. And like, come on now. He was trying to even get aggressive with the passenger. Dude was like, he wasn't on nothing. He just sitting there. So I just don't understand it. But I can't finish watching this at all. So we're gonna watch a little bit of the trial. Tricia, is there anything you wanted to add to that?
Well, I'm just gonna echo back off on you. What you're
Oh, my.
saying. It's very emotional, and again, I'm not recalling ever hearing his Miranda rights. I'm still.
You didn't hear them read the Remando rights?
No, I did not. You slapping handcuffs on this individual. Well, you know what? Let's. I know a lot of people are going to step in and make their comments, and
That's totally fine, you know.
yes.
Please be respectful with those comments, you know, because if you're not, you already know.
Okay. And we will come.
All right, so let's finish watching a little bit of the trial and see what they're talking about.
And you also sound very low.
Very
Meechie.
who?
You sound low on my end, but I can hear you.
I sound low on your end?
Yes.
Really?
But it's okay.
I got the volume up. Okay, so let's start watching the trial just a little bit.
Here comes Greg with your organic carrots. He credits sun, good soil, and a little
You said it's
something
low?
he just won't tell. Here comes a trip to Bangkok.
Yes, it's low, but it's okay.
Jays.
When you're serving as a dispatcher, a sergeant on duty out in the streets in each precinct.
Yes.
How many sergeants are there generally on?
Depends on their shift. Minimal of one.
And as part of your duties, do you often have contact with those sergeants about calls and other matters?
Yes.
Now, on that date, May 25 of 2020, did you dispatch a call to officers to a location known as Cup Foods?
Yes.
And did you receive that 911 call?
I did not.
And but you dispatched a call about that?
Correct.
Are you familiar with that location, Cup Foods?
Yes.
And do you know the intersection where that's located?
38th in Chicago.
And is that in the city of Minneapolis?
Yes.
You know what county that's in?
Hennepin.
Okay. And why are you familiar with that location?
It's a place where I've been in the area before. Sorry. And also it's part of our geography to know certain landmarks that stick out.
Wait.
It's a place where we have to.
Is she the one who you said that made the call initially?
No, she's
About
the
the
911 dispatcher who
Okay.
received the call.
So the guy that we just seen, he's the one who made the call about the fake $20 bill.
No, who are we speaking? Where are you at?
The guy that was in the store that showed them the $20 bill? Showed the police.
His sister, allegedly, his sister it was the first who made the call. Yes, he's one of the owners of the store. Yes, they're family owned.
Be ready to understand where it is. So if someone tells me that Cup Foods, I know where that is. It's 38th in Chicago, and I can use my computer system to get that address.
Fairly familiar with the city of Minneapolis.
Yes.
And were you aware at the time if there was one of these street cameras for that area?
I did not.
Did you subsequently learn that there, in fact, is a camera there that could show the incident you had called?
Yes.
At some point, did you also then look at some video for this incident at that location?
Yes.
I will come back to that in a little bit.
Prior to coming into court, did you have a chance to look at what we've marked as Exhibit 151? You don't know that, but it's the VisiNet or CAD printout from part of this call, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, can we turn on just the witnesses screen, please? Put up 151, please. I'm showing you what we've marked as Exhibit 151. Do you see it on your screen?
No.
Now do you see it?
Yes, I'm using the judge's computer.
Okay. First of all, do you recognize what this document is?
Yes.
And how would you refer to it so I get it right?
It is the printout version of the call that it came in from 911.
So as calls are processed through the center, a record of that is made that looks like this.
Yes.
And is this kept in the ordinary course of the business of the call center, keeping track of what it does?
Yes.
And have you on prior occasions relied on something like this to recall what happened during a call?
Yes.
And is it something that you're able to see even sometimes during your shift?
Yes.
And would this come up on one of the multiple screens that you have if you wanted to?
Yes. Everything looks different. It would take a lot of explaining, but yes, we see all of this information.
Your Honor, then I would offer Exhibit 151. And you did.
In case you guys are wondering, that's the guy to the right. He's the one that actually was on George Floyd's neck.
Our new deputy press secretary, anyone who covered the Biden campaign knows Andrew quite well. He just joined our team after staying on the transition for.
What is that? What was that? I don't know what the hell that is. Okay, let's click on it.
We needed that, huh?
I'm like, what the hell?
I guess people had to take a breather, like, what's really going on here?
Right.
Now, Ms. Scurry, I'm going to ask for 151 to be put up on the screen so we can all see it. And starting here with the first page of this document, and I'll represent to you that we have not included the entire document, right? This is just a portion of that information, correct?
Correct.
So what I'm going to ask you to do here with the first line is tell us, run us through that first line and tell us the information on that very top line.
The first line is from the call taker. It is a query of the plate that's in the call, and then we use a lot of abbreviations for quick hand information to the dispatchers, and it would say outside on 38th Street reporting that there is a male provided a counterfeit bill to the business. The suspect is a black male, 6 foot taller, sitting on top of a blue Mercedes ML320 SUV, license plate boy Robert John 026.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this blown up a little bit so it's easier for everybody to read along with you. And at least the first couple lines, just so that it's bigger for us all to see. So the first column on the left, self-explanatory, that's the date.
Correct.
And then the time, also probably self-explanatory. What does user mean?
User would be how you identify different persons involved. This person, you can tell, is a call taker. It's the first two letters there, and then it has their ID number. We all have our own ID numbers.
And so what's your ID number?
Mine is 123096.
But this first user number that starts with a CT, you're familiar with who is assigned that number, generally who has that number?
Yes.
And how do you know that?
It's given to our certain, everybody has their own specific one. If I needed to query that to find out who it was, it would tell me who their name is. But I also know that that's a call taker based off of the first two letters.
And then type, what does type mean?
It's the response.
You there, Latricia?
So that's outgoing information.
Yes, I am. I'm still here.
I believe. I don't exactly know what that means actually right there.
So that first line, query, somebody's asking to run a license plate, correct?
Correct.
All right. So then the next line, can you describe for the jury then what we're seeing here, all that's in capital letters?
So everything we write is usually in capital letters, but the first three letters are OTS, is our short term for outside. And then just on 38th Street, it's providing the information of where. We try to be as clear as possible and paint a picture. So outside on 38th Street, reporting that there's mail provided a counterfeit bill to the business.
And so is this the information that the call taker provided to you to make the dispatch to officers?
Yes.
And as part of this process,
Meechie.
information also
Yeah.
Now, if you're reading that
in writing.
Yes, all of this information is sent to them.
to your right-hand side,
So this is available to them in their squad car as
that
well.
cue that was on there, it speaks about
There's a description of the vehicle, correct? Blue Mercedes.
allegedly, or who their opinion by he was under influence.
Yes, that is the query
Okay.
information.
Did you see that?
That goes
In
in
the far right-hand corner where she got the OTS.
Here we
Did
go,
you
right
look,
here.
look at this.
crash vehicles. It is the reason why we ask, along with
You
the
talking about this
license,
right here,
what
right?
kind of vehicle are you
Yes, there's a mail provided, a counterfeit bill.
saying this is a stolen vehicle?
Yeah, it
And
are
it's
under the
or the
influence.
plate
Yeah.
doesn't match.
Yes, and now she just said something about a stolen vehicle.
19
Where is this going?
North. What is that?
That is the registered owner's address.
Of the vehicle that's described there.
Yes.
And so then the next line, no screening questions asked. What does that mean?
Due to the pandemic, we have certain questions that we ask, and there were no screening questions asked based off of the person not being the person they're calling about. So the caller, as far as we know, they're not going to have contact with, but no screening questions were asked to let the officers know that we don't know if they've had any COVID contact or symptoms.
So that
Question: the pandemic didn't happen right then. On that pandemic hadn't started quite yet. I don't think.
Yes, it has. The pandemic started in March, and where we're at. Yes.
Oh, okay. So it did start. Okay.
This is the month. This all took place in May.
Okay. Let's
then taking this information, then did you dispatch a squad car to respond to this call?
Yes.
And who did you? Well, first of all, if you could tell us which sector of the 3rd precinct. I assume this was the 3rd precinct, correct?
Correct.
Which sector would this fall in?
This falls in 320 sector.
And did you, in fact, dispatch then to 320?
I originally dispatched this to 330.
And why is that?
320 was not available.
And you knew that from your work previous that day?
Yes.
Okay. And
Okay, we're gonna stop right here because we can't have the video too long. But it is very hard to watch. And if you guys have any questions or thoughts, please put them down below. This is Meechie and Tricia. Tricia, is there anything you want to say before we end for today?
No, because we're going to be following this trial. That's the only thing I have to say at this moment. We will be following this trial to the end. So we will be posting often. If this is going to be daily, it'll be daily, but we will be posting this often. And hey, people have their say so on it, and we do. We want to hear that. Make your
Right.
comments, make your statements, express how you feel, vent. You have that right.
Hmm. Yes. So shout out to everybody. Share us out. Like and subscribe. Again, go check us out on the Meech and Tricia show. That's Meechie, Meechie,
And Tricia.
Tricia. And Tricia, you know your people are they watching us too. So much love to y'all and thank you so much.
Much love, much love. Stay lifted. Lift each other up. If you can help someone, help someone.
Oh my God. I can't personally watch that whole video. I'm sorry, I just can't.
I think many of us can echo off of that.
So let's just hope for the best for this year, 2021. So far, it's been all right. We've had some crime in Chicago, but already some shootings, and I mean these people is crazy. But other than that, we have been okay. So
All is well.
let's hope and pray for the best. And no matter what, we keep God close. He's the most important thing right now. And thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
We love you.
We love you. Yes.